Um, I just want to make a video about the comments that Pence made. And all this really shows to me is what I thought was the truth in the first place. China is not a perfect country, but China used to be a world leader before. China had problems with corruption, problems with opium, problems with making bad trade deals, and they're trying to learn from all these issues. China had issues with how they dealt with civilians, and they're learning from it. You don't see like people are rioting in China, and China is supposed to be a country that has less liberties than or rights than America. So it's like China's supposed to be so tougher than America is on its people, on how they live, but they're rioting, and you don't see a whole bunch of army people come in there and rough them up and blow up stuff, and you don't see none of that crazy stuff. You don't see like a very wild reaction to the rioters. All you see is the Chinese government trying to stop them from attacking people, stopping the economy from getting worse, and stopping the destruction on private property. So it's like they're handling it fine. Like seriously, I know they have detention camps and camps where they retrain people. I'm not sure what the exact word they use, but like I know about all that. But they've been having that for years. That is how they choose to deal with people in their country that they feel are a threat to their country. You know what I'm saying? We cannot, as American citizens, say something bad about the detention camps and stuff like that, because we had our own little camp too. Y'all forgot about that. When it got to the point when we were under attack, we took a lot of precautions to make sure that we weren't going to get attacked again. So it's very unfair for us to sit there and say, China, you're such a bad country, when we did the same thing. So I just think that Pence, Trump, and the Republican Party are trying to figure out some type of way to make up for the money that they don't have anymore from tax revenue, because they approved the Tax and Jobs Act early in Trump's career. So he's done this. He doesn't have any extra funds now, and so he's trying to figure out, like, okay, so I'm gonna get all these countries that supposedly owe me money or that I do dealings with to make up for it, and he's not having a good time doing it. And when you think about it, the country has to do what is best for their country. Just like with the Brexit thing, they have to do what's best for their countries. So you can't sit there and get mad at them and then all of a sudden trying to say they're bad people, they're a bad country, they're a bad government, because you're not getting your way when you need something. And that's how I see it. The NBA is trying to stay out of the political drama because it is like a political issue. Trump wants to fix his fuck up that he did, and he's trying to have China fix it by getting extra money from China. And China's saying, like, we'll agree to a fair deal. And, like, I gotta respect China on it. You know what I'm saying? They want a fair deal. They don't want to agree to some BS just because you're trying to say all these bad stories about them in the news. So, like, I kind of sat on China on this one because, like, Trump, Pence, and the Republican Party is wrong. They're trying to use the NBA as a thing to argue over. The NBA don't have nothing to do with Trump, Pence, and the Republican Party trying to get extra money out of China. The NBA has a relationship with a global audience, with multiple nations. And the NBA is not bringing a bad product into those countries. It's bringing a good, wholesome product. And, like, I agree with Silverman. It's like the NBA is trying so hard to be a good example of a multinational company. It's not a company that deserves everybody to jump on them about how they treat the players, or how they treat customers, or how they treat how they interact with governments. The NBA is not a bad example of was not an example of a bad multinational company. It don't deserve all the backlash and drama it's getting. Now, that one person said something from the Houston Rockets, I understand why China is putting their guard up, because they're dealing with an issue at home. There's China's problem dealing with the rioters, and I understand it, and they're trying to deal with it in their way. So, for another entity that's doing business with me, if you're speaking on something that I feel like is going to cause my country more problems, yeah, I don't want to have any business dealings with you. But it's sad because he spoke on it, and it's like ruining the relationship the NBA has with China, when the NBA as a whole doesn't have a problem with China. You know, like, we're going to be real about the situation. You know, this doesn't have nothing to do with money. This has something to do with Trump's agenda in China. It don't have nothing to do with the NBA agenda. And I really support the NBA for how they handling it, because even though the dude from the Rockets said something that has made the relationship with China worse, they still allowed him to say what he wanted to say. They didn't try to punish him for his beliefs, which like is a value that Americans hold dear. So it's like, I don't have nothing bad to say about the NBA, but like, stop jumping on them, because they are not saying anything because they're trying to make money. They're not saying anything because I don't think they support the way that the government is trying to deal with China. It's like you're trying to pull us into the fight y'all have with China, and we're not fighting with them. Like, from what I understand, the whole situation with the rioters in China is because they want the extradition laws to stay how they have been. So if a Chinese citizen goes to another country, and for some reason that government wants to arrest them or something like that, and they feel like it's unjust, that Chinese person can go back home and be safe there. You know, if they innocent, they safe. That is a big thing for a Chinese citizen to give up. So just think about it. This world is not closed off anymore. Everybody goes to other countries now, like for business, for travel, for a lot of reasons. So to have it so I can go somewhere and then I can get stuck in that country and you ain't gonna come and help me, and I was born in your nation, it's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? So I get the rioting. I understand it. I just don't understand why they're just tearing down their own country. Because China is beautiful. Look at pictures, look at buildings. China is rebuilt from like years and years of wars and fighting and all types of craziness. So it's like that's what I don't agree with. So it's like, when it comes to the rioting, I try not to speak on it, because like, I get both sides. I get the government wants peace, but the people want protection. You know what I'm saying? So I understand both sides. So I want them to hash it out. I don't want no civil war. I don't want no drama over there in China. I like China. You know, but stop trying to make it seem like it's an NBA issue. It's not an NBA issue. Like, honestly, if it was a true issue with U.S. thinking that China is abusing people, then we shouldn't be doing no business with China, period. If that's the case, the NBA shouldn't have to step up. You know, the American government should step up, but it's not. The American government is not stepping up because the human rights violations must not be to a severe enough degree to do anything about it, to sanction. So, like, be real. If you still trying to work out a trade deal with somebody, you cannot turn around and then say, like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna talk bad about your country if you don't agree to my agreement. That's not how business works. You're gonna do business with somebody, you're gonna do business with them. And you're gonna understand what type of person you're doing business with. That's a whole nother country. The American government does not control the world. So when we over there in their country, we have to respect their laws. When they're over here in our country, they have to respect ours. And that's how it's supposed to be. So I just hope that China understands that it's not the NBA trying to attack them. You know, we're trying to abide by our rules and let our people have free speech. But at the same time, we're still trying to do business with you because we don't think you're a bad country. You know? You have detention camps, we had Guantanamo Bay. You know? That's how I see it. God bless.